So hello everyone, and as Rafał told you, I work at Nokia. I am experienced software tester, and now I am a product owner. And I would like to show you how I accidentally earned $5,000. And after this presentation, I would like you all to learn that, in fact, anyone can find a bug. They don't need to be very sophisticated, and sometimes they are hidden in the most unexpected place. And once you find it, it's good to know where to report them, because believe me, it's worth it, or it was in my case. So, what is my story? It all began with Chernobyl. I know this is a very popular term right now after this HBO TV series, but believe me, I was interested in Chernobyl nuclear catastrophe way before that times. And once there was a lecture about Chernobyl nuclear catastrophe at my university, I really want to participate in that lecture, and only thing you need to do was to reserve your seat. So I received the link to the Google Forms, and we all know the Google Docs. There are several applications. There are Google Docs, text editor, there are spreadsheets, there are presentations. So I received the link to the Google Forms to reserve my seat on that lecture. And believe me, if you want to enroll for anything at my university, you need to be really quick. The places, we are running out of places in something like 15 or 17 seconds. So I well all prepared, I had my alarm set up, and I forgot about the date. So I had that link, it looked like that. And when I executed it, I was redirected and I saw this closed form. And the message, this form is no longer accepting any answers. So I knew it was already too late. But you know, I care about my privacy. I have a lot of privacy add-ons in my browsers, and sometimes I just got wrongly redirected in some applications. So I'm well prepared to that, I'm smart. So I decided that I will overcome that difficulty, there's probably something wrong, and I still can participate in that lecture. So, like I always do, I decided I will remove that ending and see what happens. And I was expecting that I will be redirected to this view form part, everything will be fine, and I can go fill the form and reserve my seat. But what exactly happened? I did that, I executed the link, and after I pressed enter, I saw this, just an edit. So, bingo, that was the thing that I did not expect to happen. I reproduced that. Let me just show you how exactly that did work. Here is a short video for that. So, you create the form, you have this link, and then you take it. You go to another browser just when you are not the owner of that document. You can send some answers just to have something to work with. And then after that, when you go to the address bar, you were automatically redirected to the edit website. So you could view all the already gathered answers. You could delete them. You could add any more questions. You could download all the answers in the comma-separated value format, and so on and so on. So I just added myself to the list for that lecture and hoping that no one will see that. But in fact, what exactly happened? How someone in the Google, in the big company, which is really smart, cannot see that it works like this, that you can gain the editor access without any sophisticated actions? Because in the Google Docs design, in most of the cases, there are two types of the users. There's the first type, he's an owner. And as an owner, you have a privilege to manage your files. You can delete and create them. You can edit them. And you have access controls to other people, which are called collaborators. And you can grant collaborators view or edit permissions. And it works fine for every single Google Docs application, included spreadsheets, included presentations, because there are only two types of the people. But in fact, there is a big design flaw in that, because in the Google Forms, there is also a third type of the person, of the user. This person is called, okay, let's go. And this person is called interviewee. This is the person who is meant just to fill the form. This person should just receive a link, open it, fill all the data that is required from him or her, and just send it. And this person should not be allowed to send any, to make any changes in that form. But when designing this app, someone just simply forgot about it. So let me just quickly summarize. You had this special link, and you decided that you need some help when creating the form, and you decided to share it with other people, and you decided to share it with an edit permission, which is very convenient because you share it to all your teammates and you can create and work on the questions in the form. But that did not work when you were sharing specifically with specific people using email addresses. That work only when you created sharing link with edit permission. And then once you finish your work, once you want the whole world to fill that form, you got another link with just to send it away to the people to gather all the answers. But in that design, both of the links had the same hash, and only the ending of that link were different. The one of those links was ending with edit parameter, and the other one was ending with the edit. So here was what happened. What was even worse, once you executed the naked link without any ending, the server automatically resolved it with edit permission. And even though you did not know this bug exists, you were redirected and got all the edit privileges. So let me imagine what can be done, because you think that it's not very harmful, but you could view and delete all the existing answers. You can export all the data in the comma-separated format. You can change form elements. You can enable or disable answer gathering. It might do not sound serious enough, but let's think about all the data you put in these forms every day, because sometimes there are mobile phone numbers, addresses, bank accounts number when you enroll to another company for a new job. For example, Jagiellonian University asked the people to put their health condition when they're enrolling people to some researches. So sometimes you can get from those forms very sensitive data about the people. Or imagine the scenario when you delete the already existing answer about some people and his bank account number and just put another one with all the same data but just different account number in the bank. So I thought that I need to report it somewhere, because I thought, okay, Wojtek, that is serious. So I type into the Google phrase, how to report back to Google. And all the results I got were something like, you are an idiot, you do not know how to use our applications, here is our help web page, and go check it, and everything is fine for sure. Because such big companies like Google or other have so many users that they cannot just simply provide you contact to their support because it's too expensive for them. So I let it go for a while, but somewhere I read an article about 12-year-old guy who found a bug in the Instagram. This bug allowed him to delete any comments in the Instagram, even from the different profiles. And in that article, I have read that he reported it in Facebook Vulnerability Reward Program. Bingo, that was it. So I type a phrase, the Google Vulnerability Reward Program, into the Google, and then I found what I was looking for. It seems like every single bigger company like Google, Facebook, Microsoft have their own bug bounty programs. So I have filled all the form. I have described what the issue is about and waited for the answer. And the answer came very quickly. And it was like that. I followed your steps, but I can't reproduce this issue. And they asked me to record the video of that issue. So I thought, okay, I have some exam the day next at my university, so I think the perfect time to record this issue is now, because what about the exam? Yeah. But there is one simple and small thing I haven't told you about, because there is one simple loophole in this whole thinking, because there is one sentence that changes everything. And I just thought that they might have not been able to reproduce that issue because there is no issue. They might just have treated it as that it's not a bug, it's a feature. It was designed that way, it should be that way. I just will show you why I thought like that. Like I have shown you, I have recorded the video. And let me show you why they might have said that it's not a bug, it's a feature. Because right here, when you are creating this link to share it to the people, there is explicitly told, anyone with the link no sign-in required, can edit. It is explicitly told there that anyone who will have a link will be able to edit that form. And okay, there might be thinking that no one expects that this link for editing and links for filling the form are the same, but in fact, you have been warned that anyone who had a link could edit that. But okay, I just have sent them the video and I was waiting for response, and thank God they answered me, okay, now I see what it is all about. And let's wait for our security panel gathering. We will reach you in next 2 weeks, and we will tell you what we will do about it. And then after 2 weeks, I received another email, and it says, thank you for reporting this bug. As a part of Google Vulnerability Reward Program, the panel has decided to issue a reward of $5,000. Yeah, I was so amazed, but in fact, you might think, is it a lot or is it not? So right now, this is the table of the current prices for the bugs in the Google Vulnerability Reward Program. Those amounts were increased lately, and as you can see in the parts in the normal Google applications and other highly sensitive applications, logic flow bugs leaking or bypassing significant security controls are worth $5,000 or $7,500, which was increased lately. So I think I scored the highest score that it was there. But you know, I have a little game for you right now. Oh, before the game, few important information about this bug bounty program, because how does it work? Few important rules. You cannot publish the bug details before it gets fixed, or at least before you receive money transfer, because once you receive money transfer, no one will take that away from you. Another thing, first in, best dressed. Only first person who report that bug gets paid. And that is funny because during enrollment for that lecture, I was not the only person who found that. I have seen in the comments on Facebook that some other people also discovered the same bug, but no one thought about reporting it. And the third very important rule, bugs which require very unlikely user interaction do not qualify. And why is that? Because if you ask user to execute some script and then you ask user to just ignore all the alerts and just bypass all the security monitors, then this is very unlikely user interaction. So bugs like this does not qualify. But okay, you know how much did they pay me? You know the table, how much are the bugs worth? So I have for you another bug, and let's try to tell me how much they could pay for that bug. That was a bug in the Android, and you will need your mobile phones in a minute. So first of all, let me just tell you what it was about. Okay, so it was possible to change bits in the neighbor memory cells in the Android phone memory, that allow to escape from the sandbox mode. And after that, attacker can gain root privileges. And all of these things could be done performing malicious JavaScript code via web browser. So right now, I would ask you all to bring your mobile phones and go to the menti.com website. And then we'll take a little quiz. Just let me switch to the Menti. Okay, so please go to the Menti and enter the code you can see on the screen, 451165. There's still a bug description. And then there will be a quiz. I'm waiting for the players, so oh, great. You will have 40 seconds to answer, and the answer is, how much did they pay me? There are some few like the parts, but I can assure you that none of the value is the border value, so you can just ignore it. This is just about the more or less the amount. Okay, do we have everyone? 73, 74? Okay, I will wait till there's something maybe like 100. $87, $89. Will we have 10 more? Okay, someone is toggling, unfortunately. 4 more. Come on. And I, of course, have a book for the winner, but remember the time counts. And just one more. Okay, you can also join once I started, so don't worry. And right now I will start the quiz, and you will have 40 seconds to go with that. Okay, we're waiting for all the answers. Five, four, three, two, one. And time's up, and here are the answers. Great. And believe me or not, Google paid for that bug just $4,000. It is 1,000 less than they paid me. And in fact, for me, it was really hard to believe that how they could pay even less that I received. In fact, because I believe that this memory leak thing in the Android was much way dangerous. But all those programs and all those, but Android in fact is under a different program that I have reported this bug in, and in fact I don't have any insight how their decisions are made. Maybe that was because this attack was harder to perform. I'm not sure, but I think that was a nice game to bring back your attention a little bit. So we'll go back to my presentation. Oh, leaderboard. Sorry. I forgot who won. So let's see who won. Okay, so the fastest was Umbriel. So after the lecture, please go in here. There's a book waiting for you. Thank you very much. Big applause for the Umbriel. Thank you all for the participation. Yeah, I almost forgot about the winners. Okay, if you are more interested in this bug, it's called Rowhammer or Drumhammer. The exploit for that bug is called. So you can just simply Google it if you are interested about more information regarding this issue I just have told you. But in fact, you might also think that the bug I have found was too simple, and it's almost impossible to find anything like it in any other application, because probably everything is so well secured and no one is making so stupid mistakes right now. So I have few more examples for you. They were found in the several past years, and they are similar to the one I have shown you. So check this out. Via SMS, the loan company used links incremented one by one to share contracts and the invoices to their customers on their own website. So once you got your own contract and you got a link, you could see as many other contracts and agreements as you like. So you could check a lot of other people's documents. You can gain insurance numbers there. You can gain the addresses. You can check some other personal data. And I think it goes without saying that all those data might be used to restore your access to the bank account using a phone to the hotline of your bank. So once you got that data, you probably need to care that who has access to your accounts in the bank. Another thing was the PayPal app several years ago. So you know what the two-factor authentication is. You are logging in, and then you are asked for the SMS code or the token from the generator. And in the PayPal app was designed like that after you log in, you were completely successfully logged in. And when you had this two-factor authentication enabled, the app had to receive a special packet with a special flag set to true. So if you change that packet and you change that flag to the false, or you just set up your network to drop that packet, you can gain the access to your PayPal account, skipping the two-factor authentication. I think that this is also very serious because all the people, because you can send and keep the money in your PayPal account. The third thing was the Euronet ATMs. In the Euronet ATM, there is a service of the money transfer. Do you heard about it? Do you know that in Euronet ATM you can order a money transfer to other person? Great. I thought so because this service is not popular, so I'm not surprised that no one rolls their head. So you can go to the ATM and you can order a money transfer to a specific person. You will receive your receipt, and on that receipt there is an order ID. The recipient of that money will receive an SMS, and in that SMS there is a partial order ID and there is a PIN code. To withdraw that money, the recipient needs to have the full order ID and the PIN code from the text message. So it's quite safe because until you do not tell your recipient what is the full order ID, he will not be able to withdraw that money. What was the problem? The security codes, the order IDs were simply incremented. And with popularity of that service, this beginning of that code, because as you can see in the text message, they were cutting out the first 4 digits, were the same for the next few days or even the months. So, how it was found? There was a guy who lost his computer and put a note in the internet that he has a reward for someone who found it. And then some girl contacted this guy and told him, okay, I know where your computer is, but I need to know that your reward is serious. So please order a money transfer in the Euronet ATM, and once you will find out that my clue was helpful, then you will tell me the full order ID and I will withdraw the money. And you know what happens next in that case. And even in this conference last year, the Michał Sajdak from the Securak showed you that the gun security cameras you could inject any command without any authorization using just the camera URL. And it was fixed in the newer version of the firmware for those cameras. You need a password authorization, but in that cameras you could gain the password like that. So I would say that it's not very much of the security, in fact. So just like I have shown you, sometimes the bugs are very sophisticated, but sometimes they are very simple. So when the other times you have some feeling that something is not right, that something is not very clear, or you have some doubts, it's good to investigate it because it might be worth it, just like in my case. So that is all what I have to say for you today. Thank you for your attention, or I'd rather should tell you, have fun when looking for the bugs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wojtek. Now, we've got plenty of time for questions, so you can come back to your smartphones and ask questions to Wojtek using the Slido application. Let's see if we've got any questions. Yes, with 2 questions, that's 2 votes, that's Alex. How did Google decide, or how does it decide if a bug is worth money or not?
If you will go to the Google Bug Bounty program, there is a whole website where everything is like told what can be rewarded and what not, because there are some things that maybe that are thought that there are bugs but do not participate in that programs. This, for example, when you just trigger user logout, because this is just the security design of those applications. But there is very, very detailed description, so I will just advise you to go there. But just like I have told you that these 3 main rules were mentioned in my presentation, so you cannot leak it to the before you report it. You need to be first who report that, and that does not involve the very rare user interaction. And how much is it worth? Then there is this table, but it's always also said that the final amount is just decided by this security panel. And if you will check who is sitting in that panel, you will learn that there's in fact a lot of Polish people in that team. There's something like 5 or 10 people, and 3 of them are from Poland or have like Polish sounding surnames. So I think like there's a lot of good experts from Poland, and I believe in them that they will pay you good for your bugs.
Okay, let's see some more questions, please. So that's with 4 votes. How many bugs have you managed to report so far, and have you earned any other bounties?
Okay, that was just the one bug I found in this bug bounty, but I know that there are some people in this. There is Google Hall of Fame, and there is the ranking of the most bugs reported, and in top 1 there, like the first one is the also Polish guy, and in top 5 there was a guy who was also last year on the TestDive. But in fact, I think like it's really hard to look for the bugs in those applications, because I think when you think about something, then probably it's already fixed. But when you accidentally have that little feeling that it is not right, I think that is your clue where to go, what to look for, in fact. And I also, the software testing was also my job for last 2 years, so I was also reporting some bugs in my company software, but that was on the development during the development process, so I don't feel like that counts.
Thank you. Some more questions. Have you tried the same thing with other Google applications like Maps, Mail, Books, etc.?
In fact, I have tried that probably for the Google Docs or something other, but as I have told you, in that case, in case of the Google Forms, there is this flaw in this design that they did not have this third type of the user in mind. But in fact, once you report it, then after some time, they just have sent me an email that, okay, we have fixed it, checked if everything is okay. And then I have that feeling, definitely you missed something. You definitely skipped something that definitely should be something more. And I was so keen on to find something else, but in fact they did a great job. And right now, when you execute that link and when you without any ending, then you will be redirected to error 404. There is no such resource. So yes, I was trying to find something like that, but unfortunately I wasn't able to.
Thank you. Next question, please. Which companies give bug bounties?
I am aware of Facebook, Microsoft, and the Google. Google has 3 different programs. One is probably for the Google Chrome. The second one is for the Android, and the third one is for the web applications. Microsoft have another one, and the Facebook has one program for all the Facebook applications, including Facebook and Instagram. And I would say if you will try to type into if you will find any bug in any other company, you might try to typing something like IBM bug bounty. Maybe there is one. But I think even if there is not any bug bounty program, you might try to approach just the company using an email, and maybe they will be willing to pay it. You always can threat them that you can sell it in the black market, because that's why they are paying for that. They don't want these bugs to be sold on the black market.
Next question, please. Is bug reporting to Google done via Google Forms?
I need to say that is a nice question, because that was also my thinking. Like when I saw a link, like here you can report the bug. I was like, oh, it would be so funny if it is Google Forms, but it is not the Google Forms. So there is some different form. But in fact, I need to say, like you receive an email, you receive all the confirmation, and then you are looking for your bug, and there is a lot of like the paperwork for that, because before they will pay you and all other stuff, you need to fill the special report to the United States of America, to the money department there. Then you can promise that you will pay all the taxes in your own country. So maybe it's not held in the Google Forms, but like there is much more different forms to be filled to have all that happen and to receive that money finally on your account.
And I thought there was one more question. I think the final question. Oh, no, there are two.
One.
What to do if a company doesn't have a bug bounty program?
Yeah, so I think I already covered that, so you can probably approach them in the email, and I think they should pay it. Some of the people in the Polish internet are doing something like that. I found a bug in your software. I found a bug in your system. So here are the details, but please pay some money for some charity organization. That is also the thing that people are doing in here, and that is not politically correct, but you can also try the black market, and there are people in the internet, but people who are willing to pay for that. But I think that the company, if you are doing the job of the testers that are hired in that company, you also should receive some gratification. So I will just try to talk to them, or try to ask them to pay some money for the charity. It's in most of the cases it should work.
Okay, one more question. Whether such amounts are sufficient to avoid using the errors for criminal purposes. What does the person who found the error thinks?
I think it's a tough question, because you never knew how much that would be worth in the black market. And in fact, I even was like convinced that they will pay me something like $100 or $500, because okay, there was a bug, but it's not that serious, or it was not the bug, it's a feature. So I was very surprised when they sent me an email message that it's $5,000. But I don't think that there is a correct answer to the question. What the person who found this error thinks. You saw the table, and I think like it's a lot, especially when the bug I found was like could be reproduced only under special circumstances, like this sharing part. It wasn't working always, so I'm quite happy, but I'm not sure if everyone will be. It depends on what you find and how much is that worth, and what you can gain instead of selling this bug. I think that is the answer for that question.
And of course, the fantastic benefit of doing this type of work is that once you've succeeded, you do not only get cash, but you also get invited to be a speaker during a TestDive conference. Ladies and gentlemen, Wojciech Froń.